One day they will errata all cards to miss the timing.
Welcome to another video, and we are back playing the undefeatable Legendary Fisherman. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how do you know Legendary Fisherman is unbeatable? Well, it's because whenever opponent sees Legendary Fisherman in your deck, they will concede. And if they're not conceding, it's because they're an exceptionally brave duelist, alright? So check this out. We're going to show you some games. At the end of the video, I'll have the deck list if you want to play Legendary Fisherman Fusions in the Festival, or if you want to just play it on Rank Ladder, because this is a good deck, you know? Just a Fisherman deck, and any deck with Fisherman is good. We're going to go for our tier line. Fusion Summoning, using Polymerization, 2 Tearlament Shiren in our graveyard in order to summon the Kit Kalos, which got negated by the Imperm. And now we're going to just use Brand Fusion, send Kit Kalos from our field to the graveyard, and at Fallen of Albaz, that's going to trigger Kit Kalos to mill, and it's going to summon the Mirror Jade Iceblade Dragon. We're going to get milling, mill 5. And what did we hit? What is going on in this graveyard? We got Ice Barrier ×2, and this is how we're getting our Legendary Fisherman going. We're milling. We got 3 copies of Ice Barrier. We're going to mill it with the Tearlaments, and then search your Legendary Fisherman pieces to the hand, and then you just summon the Legendary Fisherman, and you know, that's game over. But you got to watch out, because sometimes opponents spot a Legendary Fisherman piece in the graveyard, and then they'll just give up right away. But our opponent, they haven't seen the Fisherman yet, so they're holding on. What else we got in the graveyard? We got some Trib Karma action going on, and a Sulliek that's going to activate. Let us get the old Tearlament's Rhino Heart to the hand. Let's get that Trib Karma activating. Get our Primeval Planet to the hand. Normal summon our Tearlament. Send our Tearlament Havness to the graveyard and get Fusion Summoning. You know how it is. And we have so many fusion options, alright, because our deck has the King of the Swamp ×3, who is an Aqua, alright, synergy. Lets us search Polymerization, but also lets us get some very interesting fusion options, including Grapha, which is a nice little negate of a normal spell trap card or monster effect. That is quite powerful. Also, lets us go into our Tearlament, the one that's already on the field, the Tearlament that requires Kit Kalos. There it goes, Rokalos, in case you need it. And it acts as a Fallen Albaz if you want to fusion summon your Lubellian or other Lubellian adjacent monsters. So all the options are there. Let's fusion summon a Rokalos. And we're going to activate our Primeval Planet, getting the Havness to the hand, and we're going to pass. We hopefully, now you see we got the Fisherman search going. Ice Barrier means Fisherman is live. We just gotta live for a whole turn. Upon playing the Sword Soul, Mo Ye My Girl is here, revealing a worm in the hand, but I don't think so. Rookalo says no. You're going to try and summon a monster? We're going to negate that. We're going to send a Tearlament from our field to the graveyard, negate, and destroy. Rokalos is going to come back to the field because it was fusion summoned. And opponent going, still, they got more action. Sword Soul Strategist making the token. Let's activate the Mirror Jade Iceblade Dragon effect. Send to the graveyard, banish the token, and you'll notice we sent a Rindbrum to the graveyard. Rindbrum has an effect in the graveyard. We can activate it, quick effect, target a Fallen Albaz in the graveyard, special summon it, and that's going to let Fallen Albaz discard a card, fusion summon, using a monster opponent controls. By discarding a card, that Tearlament Havness can be discarded. Opponent, Sword Soul of Kaya is here, going to activate, generate the token. Now, we're going to negate this, and we're going to search for our Legendary Fisherman. Alright, Fisherman time. But you'll notice, as soon as this happens, we're going to get that Fisherman. Come on, get the Fisherman. As soon as, opponent's not conceded yet, but as soon as they see the Legendary Fisherman added to the hand, it is Jover. Opponent giving up. The Fisherman, too strong. Every time, alright, every time I add the Fisherman to my hand, this is what happens. Even sometimes they see it milled, and you're probably thinking, hey, wait, no, they were conceding because of all the Tearlaments and the branded. No, no, no. That was already on the field. They didn't concede until they saw the Legendary Fisherman. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. If you like the channel, make sure to subscribe. We'll have more quality water decks in the future, maybe for this festival if it's still going on. I got myself the Purple Wave Icon opponent going First Dimensional Fisher and the Kashtira Birth. That's going to mean they're going to summon the Rise Heart, banishing. Luckily, none of our Fisherman pieces got banished. That is some exceptional luck. Fisherman knew that some random cards were going to get milled, so, you know, he probably put himself in the middle of the deck to stay safe. Fisherman, just he knows what's going on. All right, can't lose when you put Fisherman in the decks. That's what they say. Opponent, going full Kashtira. You should never go full Kashtira, by the way. If someone starts going full Kashtira, you tell them to go see a doctor. There is the Arise Heart, just rudely saying that any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. An opponent to say extra safe has the D-Fisher. Any monster sent to the graveyard banished instead, which obviously is going to completely shut down our Fisherman strategy because we need Ice Barrier to send Fisherman to the hand through the graveyard, and he's going to get banished. So we gotta clear some of this nonsense. All right. So we'll just use these other parts of our deck that are here, just supplementary, in order to get the Fisherman going. Let's add the Sheeran to the hand. Opponent, we activate an effect. They're gonna banish our field spell. Is this really the best use of your Rise Heart banish, opponent? We already got the search, so why would you do that? Opponent, really afraid of our graveyard shuffling when we don't even have anything in the graveyard. But, you know, opponent's just being opponent. Get more materials. Let's activate, or sorry, I say normal summon the Havness. Now, you're probably thinking, why normal summon the Havness to the field? Well, what is the point of normal summoning the Havness? Does this even make sense? You're about to find out. Let's fusion summon. With 3 monsters, the Guardian Chimera, and because we used a monster on the field, the Guardian Chimera lets us pop a card. We're also going to draw 2 cards. Opponent, a Rise Heart triggering, going to add a card to the hand. Let's get Guardian Chimera-ing, and now we can pop this very annoying D-Fisher. Get popping. Opponent's a Rise Heart. You won't get more monsters, but the Guardian Chimera is extra fit. Oh, opponent, just looking at our extra deck. They're not going to know, all right? They're going to look at this extra deck. They're going to say, oh my goodness, what is going on in this extra deck? None of it matters. This is all just cards that are here because of the Legendary Fisherman. This Legendary Fisherman is, you know, in the core of the deck. This is all supplemental. Opponent banishing the Kiklos. That's fine. Opponent yoinking more things. Well, let's activate Brand of Fusion. All right, now we could go to battle and hit the Arise Heart. All right. And then we have access to the graveyard again, but then we lose the ability to attack over this Kashtira Unicorn. So I'm going to give up 2 more cards to fusion summon my Lubellion, and then I'm going to fusion summon using some cards that are banished by discarding my Sulliek. And, you know, shuffle them back into the deck, make the Mirror Jade. This is a choice that I made, all right? We lost access to all of the tier elements. I think every tier element name is banished forever. We got Havness, we got Shiren, we got other Shiren, all banished. So tier elements offline. Tier elements permanently offline. We will not be fusion summoning, but, you know, we got the Mirror Jade, we got the Guardian Chimera, and all our Fishermans are still in the deck. Opponent, gonna banish more cards. Not banishing our tier elements, but that's alright. Let's smash. Get smashing. We still got the Mirror Jade banish. Opponent. We're going to set that Super Poly. Opponent, your move. How dare you, opponent? The second D-Fisher, and funny interaction with Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade says you send a fusion monster from the extract to the graveyard that mentions Fallen Albaz as material. That cannot be activated when a D-Fisher is live. So Mirror Jade actually offline. Opponent may not know. Kashtira Burst getting back the Fenrir. Fenrir adding to the hand the Rise Heart. Rise Heart get summoning. Opponent going to activate Rise Heart's effect. Banish cards from the top of our deck. Luckily, hold on a second. Luckily, no Fisherman pieces were banished. If you got a title, get banished, but no Fishermans. Opponent making a big eye. We are going to very quickly Super Poly that away before they steal anything. Giving up the Guardian Chimera to make a Predaplant Direct Expelliarmus, which is an additional negate. Could have given up the Mirror Jade Iceblade Dragon, but I'm like, it's going to be fine. What's the point? You know, Mirror Jade potentially could go live if this D-Fisher ever leaves the field, and what's 300 damage? All right, that's how much different attack power he has. He has additional 300. Let's normal summon Supreme Sea Mare and just choose the banish card we don't want. And we're going to do some quick duel match here. 7,200, yeah, that's cool. Opponent, how much life points? Oh, exactly 300. Wow. All right, cool. So maybe a bit of a misplay, but it's fine. We're just really waiting to draw Fisherman. Opponent, Kashtira Birth, go into battle. We're going to negate the Kashtira. Opponent, not going to let us... Oh, no, opponent. Opponent, but we didn't even get to Fisherman. Opponent giving up before we even get to Fisherman. That's rude. They probably sensed that seeing all our other cards were banished. They were like, Fisherman's in there. They knew. I think they got a whiff. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. We got ourselves a Legendary Fisherman in the hand, which does make it easier. It means we only have to mill one Ice Barrier to get the Legendary Fisherman engine going. So let's get the milling. Let's get the milling happening. We're going to kick Kalos, add to the hand the Soliek, and we're going to use our Primeval Planet to search for the Kashtira. Now, I should have done this the other order, but it's all good. Get our Kashtira to the hand, activate the effect of our kick Kalos, send it to the graveyard, and mill for 5, and then get that mill 3 from the Kashtira. Get milling, and all we gotta do is hit 1 copy of Ice Barrier, and unlucky days, we didn't hit that Ice Barrier, so we gotta hold Legendary Fisherman in the hand until we get the Legendary Fisherman part 3. Alright, now, you know, Legendary Fisherman, he's great, alright, he's good, he's doing his best, but let's be real, we're all here for the Legendary Fisherman 3, and anything less is just unacceptable. We're gonna get a Crime to the hand because we got some more effects from those incidental mills. And we got Crime negate, we got Soliek negate. Let's see what the opponent is up to. Opponent playing Kashtira's going second. They're gonna have a time, alright, a rougher time against Fisherman. But if they succeed at surviving this turn, their will holds. We can try and mill some more cards and get that Fisherman going on the next turn. Let's start things off by negating opponent's Kashtira Rise Heart so they don't accidentally banish our Fisherman. Send Kashtira to the graveyard. That's going to get us some more mill triggers. Mill an Ice Barrier, hopefully. No Ice Barrier was milled. Alright, we're going to keep believing. Diabellstar Black Witch is here. Going into the big eye. The biggest of eyes going to activate. We're going to Crime negate. No steal for you. Alright, no stealing. Fisherman theft would have been extremely illegal. Luckily, opponent didn't try and go for that. And they're into the turn. Alright, here it goes. Let's activate the Shuffler. This was a mistake, alright. I wanted to shuffle trigger my Primeval Planet pop the field spell, but no one plays Tearlaments, so I didn't really remember how they work. And you have to shuffle a Tearlament monster into your deck to trigger the field spell, not just any Tearlament card. So that was a bit of a mistake, but it's fine. You know, we're going to get carried by Legendary Fisherman anyway. Draw into Nibiru. This card's bad. I just cut it from the deck. Alright, don't even play Nibiru. Well, let's start by activating our Tidal Dragon to summon itself. And opponent trying to summon Kashtiras, we're going to negate that. Get negated, opponent. No Kashtiras for you. We're going to get our Tidal on field. Now, Tidal's great in the deck because it gives you a monster that you contribute to summon your Fisherman. It's a free special summon from the graveyard by banishing two waters. You summon that, you tribute summon your Fisherman, and then you're golden. No Fisherman yet. We don't have lethal, so opponent's got one more turn, and we got one more turn to incidentally mill the Fisherman to lock down our victory. So let's see what happens. Opponent, activate Kashtira Rise Heart, banishing from their deck. We're going to negate Kashtira Rise Heart by banishing the other one in the graveyard. And opponent, with Fisherman in the hand, they give up. They sensed it. They sensed the Fisherman was coming, and they gave up. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game now. You see, I'm trying out a lot of different cards in the deck. Trying out Gizmek Okami. It is searchable by the Ice Barrier. If we get our Fisherman engine going, and you know we have Ice Barriers left to do something with, we can just get this Gizmek Okami. It summons itself for free if there's 2 or more special summons from the extra deck monsters on the field. And we can activate its effect, pay some life points, pop all monsters on the field. Pretty cool effect. But we're really here to just get Fisherman going. So ended up cutting this card, so you don't need to run it. It is a random UR. We milled the Fisherman to the graveyard, but opponent not giving up. They're brave. They're like, you know what? I'm not scared of a Fisherman in the graveyard. They don't know to be scared. Let's see if we can hit an Ice Barrier. We got one in the hand already. If we hit another Ice Barrier, then we can get that Fisherman to the hand. But sadly, just hitting a bunch of useless Tearlaments and other nonsense like this Keldo. So we're just going to pass with this board. Opponent playing Dinosaurs, a very powerful go-in second deck, but we know how to play against Dinosaurs. We're going to let them get this Misk off, but we're going to banish the Misk from the graveyard, stop him from misking. We're also going to shuffle back some of our monsters into the deck to increase the odds that we draw them, get some more mills happening. Opponent with the Oviraptor. Hopefully we can mill our Ice Barrier, get mill in. No Ice Barrier. Did hit the Tidal. Talked about Tidal. In here to summon itself from the graveyard and tribute for the Fisherman. Also, you can use it to send any monster to the graveyard by discarding a water. I think that triggers the Tearlaments, but I don't know how Tearlaments work. Tearlaments, no one plays that deck, so it's not really worth looking into that. Opponent trying to attack with the Conductor, but Misk only protects in the main phase. so we can hit him with this Ice Barrier, and that's going to reduce the attack to 0, negate all the effects. Opponent trying to activate, you are negated, flipping us face up, dealing damage to themselves, and they see the Ice Barrier. They know what Ice Barrier does. Ice Barrier adds Fisherman from the graveyard to the hand, and now the fear has set in. Fallen of Albaz letting us trigger our mill spell to try and hit another Ice Barrier, and opponent not wanting to see it, they have been Fisherman out of the game. Let's go on to the next one. On to the next game. We got a great hand because we got the Fisherman and we got the Ice Barrier all ready to go. We even have Foolish Surrogates to send another Ice Barrier to the graveyard. So all we got to do is get our Fisherman going, and everything will be golden. Sadly, opponent negating our King of the Swamp search for a polymerization effect, but that's fine. That was just bait so that we could get our real effect off the Fisherman. Opponent effect Veiling our Supreme Sea Mare. Now, we got a big problem, alright? Because now we don't have a way to summon the Fisherman. We need a way to summon the Fisherman. We got to tribute summon him. So we're going to have to wait till the next turn. But for now, let's get the Ice Barrier in the graveyard. We're going to get searching. We're going to send a title to the hand. Alright, now you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be searching Legendary Fisherman, but we got another Ice Barrier, and we already got one of the Fisherman pieces. So sometimes, you know, you can search for other stuff. It's all good. It's not cheating. Yeah, and we're going to send Fisherman to the graveyard to send a Tier Element to the graveyard. Now, you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute. Why did you do that? You just discarded your Fisherman? Well, it's important to know that you should be using every piece of the Fisherman, alright? Don't just always summon the Fisherman. Sometimes the correct move is to save the Fisherman for later. And opponents saw Fisherman in the graveyard, and they scooped it up because they know Fisherman too strong. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game, and you love to see it. We got the Legendary Fisherman 3. Legendary Fisherman Part 3 in the hand. Let's get Tier Lamenting so that we can set ourselves up. Finish opponent's field. Opponent very rudely crowing our Tier Lament. Apparently that stops Tier Laments. Who knew? Who knew? Why would anyone play this? Crow, such an old card. Really just hits our Tier Laments a little bit. That's, you know, I don't really think that's a good meta call. Alright. Let's discard our Legendary Fisherman to the graveyard, see how useful he is, to super polymerize our Tier Elements into the Kikalos. We need an Ice Barrier in the graveyard to get Fisherman going anyway, so let's just get 2 Ice Barriers going, and that'll be great. Alright, Shiren activating in the graveyard because it was sent by a fusion spell, I think, to fusion summon into the Rokulos, and our Kikalos going to send to the hand a Suliak. And now we can send to get Millen. And let's just get that Ice Barrier going. If we can get that Ice Barrier in the graveyard, and then the second copy of Ice Barrier, and get both our Fisherman pieces. And that will be a very sweet. Ice Barrier number 1 and Ice Barrier number 2 are here. There they are. That means Fisherman is live. We can get both pieces of the Fisherman. We can tribute this Tier Elements Kashtira, and we'll be golden. Let's get started, alright? We're going to do part 1 right now. Alright, opponent knows the Fisherman is on the way. We have the Fisherman in the hand. We have committed. Ecclesia also getting added to the hand. And opponent, they know the Fisherman is coming, and they are scooping it up. They didn't even let us get the whole Fisherman engine in the hand before they scooped. Fisherman, it's just too strong. Opponents, they're always scooping to the Fisherman. I don't know what to do. We're going to try again. Someone surely is brave enough to let the Fisherman happen. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. Opponent going first. Playing the Sword Souls. So let's see if Sword Souls can stop Fisherman from happening. Or if opponent, you know, we draw a Fisherman piece, reveal a Fisherman piece, and that's going to be making opponent sad and they're going to give up. Well, we'll just have to find out. Opponent making the Baron de Fleur. Got banned in TCG. Let me know how you like that. Baron, you know, it's lived a good life. I think it's time to ride it off into the sunset. It is kind of like the boss for every deck that synchro summons, and you know, it'd be nice to see a little bit more variety. Opponent with the Draco Berserker, the Sword Soul Grandmaster, and the Baron de Fleur. That is 2 negates and a Monster Banish. We are top decking a Super Polymerization. That is pretty okay. We can use it to fuse monsters, but sadly, there's nothing we can do to take 2 of opponent's monsters, so we're going to have to use the Super Poly to take 1 of our monsters and 1 of opponent's monsters. Let's start things off with the Scream and the Ecclesia. We're just kind of like looking to see if opponent is going to interact with the Baron. So let's normal summon our Supreme Sea Mare, sending the Havness. Opponent not choosing a negate, not using the Grandmaster, not using the Baron. But they are going to activate the effect of Draco Berserker. Quick effect. when we activate effect, banish it, and this effect is only activated once per turn. So they banished our Tear Element. That is fine. All right, now we're going to activate Ecclesia. Opponent not negating the Ecclesia, but we got the Fallen Albaz on field. We can use this to discard Ice Barrier or discard the Keldo. Let's discard Keldo. And opponent going to try and negate that. All right, so in response to the negate, we're going to Super Poly, yoink the Baron and the Fallen of Albaz to make the Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is here. Get Mirror Jaden. Opponent's Blackout activate in the graveyard. Going to summon a token. Let's smash Banish the Draco Berserker. And opponent, it's your move. Alright, we got Ice Bear in the graveyard. That means Tear Elements don't matter because we can get Legendary Fisherman. Fisherman could be live. Opponent, negating the effect of Ecclesia to add itself back to the hand. They're going to regret doing that. We could have used the effect of Fisherman later. Opponent, Taya is here. Summoning a token. Getting a Yazi. And Yazi gonna pop our Supreme Sea Mare. Alright. Alright. Getting a token. Getting a Chi-Hao. That's gonna search. Now we already activated Mirror Jade on our turn, so we can't activate on this turn. But what can opponent do? We're just gonna have to find out. Opponent. Summoning the Strategist. We're gonna activate our Keldo. Shuffle away 2 Vishudas from opponent's graveyard so they can't use those against us. And we can shuffle a card from our graveyard into the deck as well. Are we going to do that? No, we're just going to shuffle their Vishudas away. We like our graveyard. It is perfect the way it is. Rinbrum can activate to summon the Fallen of Albaz. I should have... Alright, it was a bit of a mistake here. Because opponent making the Ruddy Rose is going to banish our whole graveyard. I should have sequenced this the other order. Alright, I accidentally did the chains. But no one plays Fallen of Albaz, so it's kind of a joke card. We should activate the Ice Barrier first, and then second, activate the Rinbrum, summon the Fallen Albaz, so he's out of the graveyard and we're not waterlocked. And then when our graveyard gets banished, we only lose the stuff that's in the graveyard and not our Fallen Albaz, but accidentally the other order, so we can't summon the Fallen Albaz. Let's get a Supreme Sea Mare to the hand. We get hurt. Our graveyard gets banished. That triggers the Tidal. Going to get a Tidal to the hand. Very cool. Tidal has 3 effects, but you can only activate 1 Tidal effect a turn, so this effect doesn't get to use that often, but if it gets banished, it searches for another Tidal. Very cool. Opponent popping our Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade activating in a damage step, which means it cannot be negated by the Ruddy Rose Dragon. Alright, Ruddy Rose says, when your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card, quick effect, tribute this card, negate the activation, and special summon a Black Rose Dragon from the extra deck. Maybe they could have activated it. I don't even know. Maybe they don't have the Black Rose Dragon. Who knows? Yu-Gi-Oh! Complicated. Opponent not negating. They're going to get popped by the Mirror Jade. And now, we got the Ice Barrier. We got the Fisherman. Let's get summoning. But opponent doesn't want to see it. They are done. Alright, well, you know, I guess Fisherman was in the hand. So it was going to happen. But opponent, again, they're scared. They sense the Fisherman. They're out. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, on to the next game. We got Fisherman Part 1 in the hand. Opponent, it's your move. Except it's actually our move. We're gonna send a Rhino Heart to the graveyard because we got this Sulliak in the hand, and we're gonna send the Fisherman too. But like I said, all right, he's just chilling. He's just chilling in the graveyard. We can get him back. Rhino Heart gonna get summoned, discarding the Sulliak. Rhino Heart gonna activate. Sulliak gonna activate. We're gonna get to send a Tear Element to the graveyard and fusion summon, and we're gonna need to add a Tear Element to the hand. Let's get that Cash Tear to the hand. Activate gets the Havness. Havness gonna fusion summon into the Kiklos, so we can get Millen and get our Ice Barriers in the graveyard. Let's add to the hand the Scream. Get Screamin'. Activate the Kiklos. Summon the Cashier from the hand. That is mill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mills. We just got to hit 2 Ice Barriers and we're golden. We got 3 Ice Barriers and we can hit. We just got to hit 2. No Ice Barrier. And we hit the Fisherman. But no Ice Barrier, alright. No copies of Ice Barrier at all. That is very sad. But you know what? I believe. Alright, an opponent, they saw Fisherman, they haven't given up, so we got a brave opponent. Let's fusion summon the Rokolos. Rokolos is here. Let's summon our Mudora by discarding the Keldo. This used to happen more often, but nobody plays these cards anymore. Opponent, Allure of Darkness. Gonna add 2 cards, banish a card from the hand, summon a Vampire Sorcerer, triggering our mill, and there it is. Ice Barrier times 2. That means it's Fisherman in time. Let's get the Fisherman. We got to send a title to the graveyard. Add the Fisherman Part 3. Opponent not giving up. It's our turn. Activate the second Ice Barrier. Send to the graveyard. Get an Ice Jade Tremor in the graveyard. Get that legendary Fisherman. Let's tribute summon the Fisherman Part 1. Let's get milling. Mill some nonsense. It doesn't even matter. Let's special summon the legendary Fisherman Part 3. Opponent, what are you doing? Solemn striking our Fisherman Part 3. This is the most respectful thing that you can do to the Fisherman, acknowledging his power by paying 1,500 life points to negate the summon. Now, Fisherman says he is unaffected by spell and trap effects, but because of Yu-Gi-Oh being the way that it is, my boy Fisherman is not technically summoned, and his summon is being negated, so his protection from spell effects does not work. So, Konami, please errata this to make Fisherman summonable again. But there goes Fisherman. He did his work. He ate the Solemn Strike. Opponent showing the proper respect for the Fisherman. Activating a Vampire Domination to negate our title to affect the summon itself. Very cool. Completely disrespecting our Cheerless. Cheerless not worth the negate. Fisherman, worth the negate. Title, worth the negate. Getting that Vampire Frowlin to the hand. Frowlin going to try and summon itself. We are going to a Rokolos. Rokolos negate. Send a Cheerless to our graveyard and re-summon it. Opponent, the only opponent brave enough to let Fisherman even, like, almost take the field. Alright? And they still haven't scooped. They think that by beating the Fisherman once, that they're safe. But you'll recall, we have an additional copy of Ice Barrier, and we got the Shuffler, which means we can shuffle our Fisherman pieces back into the deck and draw them again. And we can do that twice. So Fisherman is still alive. We can Fisherman a maximum of 3 times. Opponent trying to do vampire things, yoinking our Cheerless real close, hitting our Cheerless Kashtira, and they got a 5,000 attack Vampire Vamp. But I'm not worried. Alright, let's start things off with the Keldo. Now before we shuffle, alright, before we shuffle our Fisherman back in, we're going to shuffle some other stuff that doesn't matter. Some branded things. We're not going to worry about that, alright? Shuffle some stuff back in. And then we're going to activate the effect of our Primeval Planet, special summon our Ecclesia. We're going to activate Tidal effect. Okay, and now it looks like I banished all the Fisherman pieces, alright, to summon Tidal. Now this is an important lesson, okay? I talked about using all the pieces of the Fisherman. You can banish Fisherman from the graveyard to summon Tidal. And we already showed opponent that we had Fisherman, and they didn't give up. So if, you know, they think they're better than Fisherman, Fisherman is, like, too good for this duel. We're going to let him chill in the banish zone and prove that, like, you know, we don't even need him to beat this opponent who's disrespecting our Fisherman so much. Alright? Opponent summoning Vampire Sorcerer. We're going to summon from the deck a Fallen of Albaz, discard a card to fusion summon into a Lubellion. Lubellion, get Lubellioning. Discard card, fusion summon, using cards from our deck or banish zone. Opponent gonna activate some vampire effects in the graveyard. Who cares? Let's shuffle them away. Shuffle away, opponent. You disrespected our Fisherman by negating his effect, which was, we said respectful before, but you know they didn't let Fisherman's effect resolve, which was very rude. Let's pop their monster. It's gonna activate search for a Prowlin, but we're just gonna hit him in the face. Yeah, there. Ecclesia, come back to the hand. Tidal, come back to the hand. Back to our turn. Yeah, get attacked. Opponent, you're done. Opponent trying to get the Frowlin out here. We're going to banish the Frowlin. The Frowlin is gone. And opponent, you are done. Fisherman. Hey, Fisherman, he touched the field. He briefly touched the field. And you know what? That's going to be good enough for today. Let's go on to the deck list. Alright, here it is. The Fusion Festival deck list with the Legendary Fisherman. And you'll have seen all sorts of nonsense in the gameplay. But this is the deck list that I built at the end to optimize the number of times you will see Legendary Fisherman. Alright, we got 1 effect Veiler. We got King of the Swamp ×3. We got Tearlaments, Havness. We got the Fallen Albaz, Incredible Ecclesia. We got triple of the Supreme Sea Mare. We got 2 Sheerans, 1 Rhino Heart. These are all at 1 for this festival. We got the Keldo. We got the Mudora. We got 2 Legendary Fishermans, Part 1. We got 1 Ice Jade Chamora. We got triple Tidal. We got Legendary Fisherman Part 3. We got the Tearlaments Kashtira. We got Polymerization, Foolish Burial Goods, Lightning Storm, Branded Fusion, Primeval Planet, 2 copies of the Scream, 2 super polymerizations, triple ice barrier, 2 impermanences, 1 Triv Karma to search for our Tearlament's field spell, the Primeval Planet. We got the Crime, and we got the Sulliak in the extra deck. We got some super poly targets, Mood Dragon, Tearlament's, Rokolos, Garura, Dracosepelia. We got some stuff for our branded package. We got the Sprind, we got the Albion, we got the Mirror Jade, we got the Lubalion, we got the Albalentis, we got Tearlament's, Rokolos, Renbrum, Albion, Guardian Chimera. We got the Kaleido Heart, we got the Grappa, and that is the deck. Let me know what you guys are playing in the festival, if you're playing Xyz, Synchros, Fusions, what you like best. And we'll be back next time with more beautiful watery decks. 1 like equals 1 heart for the Fisherman. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.